Albanese was the favorite, right? And now he will form a new government. How will that look?
It is a surprise, the magnitude of his victory. He appeared to have been in danger. Many in Australia, even 6 weeks ago, believed that he will not be re-elected, that he at best would get a minority government. Now he seems to be coming in. We don't have the final votes, but it certainly seems to be a huge majority in the House of Representatives. This will give him a great deal of power to accomplish some of the promises that he has made: housing, healthcare, indigenous rights, various aspects of foreign policy. There will also be very major expectations, because now it does not depend on a thin majority. It does not depend on the support of other parties. He will have enough members, so the public will demand results. And in this very difficult situation domestically, and the tremendous disruption internationally, this will be quite difficult to accomplish.
And which message do you think Australians gave their leaders with this result?
The message is something that we have to be very careful with, because we don't have all of the data. But there are comparisons, let's say, to what happened in the case of Canada, where you will recall that the Conservative Party, before Mr. Trump came to power a little bit more than 3 months ago, appeared on the verge of winning a vast majority. In the end, they lost badly, and the Liberal government was able to resuscitate itself and at least win a minority position, and is the governing party at the moment. So the Trump factor was extremely important in Canada. Perhaps it was not quite as important in Australia, but it did have seemingly a significant influence. And what we can see in these cases is that the Trump brand, when it comes to conservative parties, seems to be toxic. That people, whether in Australia or in Canada, wanted to seek a safe harbor, and existing governments seem to provide that. And they do not want to have the kind of major disruption that Trumpism seems to represent.
And there will be changes in power dynamics in Parliament, right? How do you think this will play out?
There will be changes, and so along a whole spectrum of domestic issues on which the Labour Party, which is a center-left party, made promises, huge housing improvements, healthcare improvements. These are very, very costly. At the same time, there is a tariff war going on internationally, and Australia has not been exempt. There are major defense concerns. Australia had decided, even before Mr. Trump came to power, that they were going to buy nuclear submarines from the United States and the UK. They're buying the very advanced aircraft, F-35 stealth aircraft, from the United States. So the defense posture of Australia will have to be revised and changed in a very major way. Trade relations are also going to play a significant role. So after this election, we will have to see how these governments, which now, in a sense, have given a promissory note to the population, can they deliver on those promises? Mr. Albanese now has a 3-year, very solid majority to deliver this, but it's a tall order.
Yeah, and Australia's stance will probably shift as the international context changes dramatically, right? And I'd like to get an idea of how do you expect relations with China and the United States to play out?
Let's take China first. China is the largest trading partner of Australia. Now, when the United States places very heavy tariffs on China, that also affects Australia, and Australia itself was not exempt from tariffs. And consequently, goods manufactured in Australia, but that have some origin in China, parts and so on, could also be affected. Australia is a huge supplier of very important minerals to China, rare earths. The United States also wants those rare earth minerals, so there will be increased competition on that. Then, in terms of defense, whereas China is the most important trading partner, clearly in terms of defense, the United States is the most important partner for Australia. So there is going to be a kind of tension between the economic factors as well as the defense and political factors. And this is why, at one level, this majority is a huge gift to the Albanese government, but it is also something that brings on an enormous burden to deliver.
Professor Aurel Braun, thank you very much. Great having you.